Lovers of the Association. This is your guy Marcellus Ease, and in this final segment, it's all about the adjustments. As the Dallas Mavericks had an offensive explosion in Game 4, just for the Boston Celtics to throw another counter in Game 5 to wheel this championship home. But I'm not gonna say no more. Let's just get to it.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
Alcohol, right?
So in Game 4, the Dallas Mavericks definitely had more pep to their step. They're winning the 50-50 balls, grabbing offensive rebounds. Lively was definitely doing his thing, grabbing 6 offensive boards alone in that first half. And the Mavs were able to get a lot of transition points. Kyrie quickly was able to get into his move and attack the hoop. And also Luka took advantage of smaller defenders being lined up with him in transition. And this was their best shooting performance in this whole series. Even Derek Lively got into the action with a 3 of his own. But with the Mavs knocking down their shots, it opened things up in the paint as the Mavs finished the game shooting 50% from the field, getting most of their points down low. And even though their offense was clicking, something that was still lingering over their heads was the Boston Celtics still having more 3-point attempts than the Dallas Mavericks. And that's been something that has been haunting them all series long. Even in the quarters and first halves where Kyrie and Luka were cooking, the Celtics still had them attempt a lot less threes than they normally would, completely taking away something core to their identity. So in order for the Mavs offense to get it going, let's take a look at some of the spacing they created in Game 4. They crowded up 2 around the baseline. Look at all the space in the middle right here. And look at where Luka's at. So once Jaylen Brown tries to help in, he's not really going to fully make that commitment. See, he kind of stunts in. He's going to go right back to Luka. Can't leave him open there. And look at all the space a guy like Kyrie has to operate in. And also PJ at the corner. They're going to have to choose which corner shooter to give up the shot to. And the Celtics all series long has played it very close to the hip, making sure that they don't give up these type of shots. They rather give it up to PJ anywhere from around here, or even Jones Jr. Now taking a look at it from Luka's angle, as we see Kyrie right here, as Drew's going to begin to stunt in a little bit, but he's not going to make that full commitment because he doesn't want to leave Kyrie open from here. And we're going to see our corner shooters, PJ right here in his sweet spot. And we're going to see Jones Jr. make his way to the corner to put Jaylen Brown in a compromising position, whether he's going to commit or give up that corner shot. And look at all the spacing Luka has to operate right here. This is his bag. Just like Kyrie, he could finish these. As we're going to see here once again, look where Luka's at. Tatum is compromised. Is he going to fully commit on that stunt? I think not. Does not want to leave Luka open. Definitely is not going to do that. But look at all the spacing right here. Look at the 2 Dallas players right on the baseline. This is how Dallas created a lot of spacing for Luka and Kyrie to get points in the paint. And they cooked on this all game long. And when the Celtics began to apply more pressure, the shooters like PJ Washington, Dante Exum, Lively, Keebler, Derrick Jones Jr., they all got into the action. And guys like Luka can improvise. As we see Dante Exum right here, Drew more than likely is probably going to commit on this stunt. But look at the Dallas Mavericks players. They're all bunched up, creating a lot of spacing right here. And Luka's going to improvise and attack this empty spacing. So how the Celtics defense adjusted to this in Game 5 was to basically take Luka out of place, applying ball pressure on him early throughout the game, getting him fatigued, and also a combination of great help defense from Jrue Holiday and Derek White, along with Al Horford and Jaylen Brown, of course. This has been the true MVP of the Boston Celtics because all 5 players that are usually on the floor, even going from Hauser to Pritchard, can defend players one-on-one and have been applying great pressure. But the combination of Derek White, Jrue Holiday, and Jaylen Brown applying pressure early messed up the flow of the Mavs offense just between Kyrie Irving and Luka trying to get to their spots. Now right here on Kyrie on this double screen for a screener right here. Usually the Mavs love running this for Luka and Kyrie, but look at the communication between White and Jrue Holiday on this switch. It's not over yet. Drew is going to pick up the roll man. Great communication right here. White is going to go back. Look at the communication. And now Kyrie is one-on-one with Tatum. And this has always been Kyrie's conundrum. It's not only getting past Tatum, getting past the help. The help is going to be Jaylen Brown and Drew. That's a hell of a feat for even a guy like Kyrie, as he's going to get stripped right here. Once again, the Celtics apply a little bit ball pressure early on, but it's the combination of them having versatile defenders. Check out Hauser right here, 6'7". They never have to double team. Does a great job keeping up with Luka. So even at the point of attack for Luka or Kyrie, everyone on the floor, even guys coming off the bench, can stick with their man one-on-one. They don't have to give up that double team, thus drawing a pass for the Mavs from the corners or from anywhere from 3. Now right here, you're going to watch Jaylen Brown completely take Luka out the play. And this has been a strategy all game long. Luka can't get the ball back. Exum settles and he knocks down the shot. But at the end of the day, the Celtics are forcing other role players like Green, Keebler, PJ to make some shots. And things like this do give a lot of kudos to Jaylen Brown for MVP, because defensively he has been the anchor of disrupting such a big whale like Luka, while at the same time doing a great job with the help defense, and he provides the scoring and playmaking on the other end. In a way, he almost sounds like a baby Giannis in his playoff peak back in 2021. Now, eventually, they had PJ bring the ball up due to all the ball pressure from Jaylen Brown. But interesting conundrum right here with the pick and roll, or just Kyrie trying to do a pin down screen on Brown. Meanwhile, the bull, Drew Holiday, is on Luka. You have 2 strong guys. This is real tough. Look at Kyrie trying to force this pin down. This is kind of crazy. Jaylen Brown's so much stronger than him. And Jaylen Brown showing you right here why he's MVP. Check out this steal. And White losing his tooth right there, but it's all worth it. But that championship is worth it. Now the Celtics right here on this staggered screen is defending on a level of the San Antonio Spurs back in 2014 going up against LeBron. They're that in sync, and this is why the superstar mold, the Jason Tatum talks, now why isn't he averaging like 30 points a game in the finals? This is where defenses like this kind of shows you one guy cannot take on 5 players when they're this much in sync. Check out Al Horford right here on this roll. He switches right on Exum. Hauser is right on Jones Jr. And look at Drew Holiday on the other side. He's going to make a switch right here. Drew Holiday switches. And then Hauser's going to switch right back on Kyrie. They're reading these screens really nice. And then he deflects it. See? The higher up you go in any playoffs of any NBA era, the harder it gets. Because usually those teams consist of 7 to 8 players who are in sync defensively. That's why a lot of superstars who tend to be the solo act, that's where they're always going to hit the wall. And the same way we seen Luka played earlier in the season, where he was averaging almost 36 points per game. We never seen it translate on this level. It's because of defenses like this. But going to the offensive side of the ball for the Boston Celtics in Game 4, as a team unit, they were not able to knock down shots, which made it a lot easier for the Mavs to defend the closeouts, even with slower defenders like Luka. But even through it all, the Celtics were still attempting more 3-point shots, a lot of them being great open looks. Is that they just weren't falling. But Tatum and Brown showing a lot of maturation from the NBA Finals going up against the Golden State Warriors, because in games 4, 5, and 6, they were not able to make adjustments of the rotational defense of Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. And that caused them to settle for a lot of shots, especially Jason Tatum struggling just to play make for other teammates, as a lot of his passes were intercepted for steals. But these two have shown a great maturation, with Jason Tatum reading the game a lot better, not settling for shots, getting other teammates involved, as this roster is constructed in a way where the scoring onus will never necessarily be on him. And there's no reason for him to try to average 30 points a game when he has 4 other guys on the floor who could not only knock down 3-point shots, but they could finish at the cup take mid-range shots, it wouldn't make sense for him to try to play hero ball. And with Jaylen Brown, he has shown the onus of being one of the vocal leaders of this team, especially on the defensive end with the departure of Marcus Smart. We've seen him make great plays throughout these finals and become that player that could be consistently reliable in crunch time situations with taking big shots, as we've seen it played out in Game 3. Long gone are the days of the Warriors finals in which a combination of Wiggins, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green systematically took these guys out their game. Not only they have changed their approach, but they have come back stronger and wiser and have fully embraced the team concept. You see them going out and getting Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. Make no mistake about it, the Celtics front office had to speak with those guys. And for them to be okay with so many other guys who can come in and average 20 points a game, it shows you that they're past the accolades phase where they're going to get their all-star selections or attempts at MVP awards or scoring titles. They're completely past that. They've been through the NBA Finals losses, the heartbreaking early playoff exit losses. So with them approaching their mid to late 20s, they're at that sweet spot where they begin to let go of the personal accolades. They already have their footprint in the league, and now they're trying to establish themselves historically. But taking a look at Game 5 and the Celtics offensive adjustments, pulling out the Mavericks big man down low, as we've seen in Game 4, the Mavericks emphasize a switch with Lively or Gafford down low to at least have someone to protect the rim. And in that transition to the closeout game, the Celtics initiated a game plan to make sure that the Mavs big men are pulled out of the paint. And here's some prime examples of it right here. Check out Al Horford as he's going to make his way down. He's going to drag Gafford away from the hoop and force him to make a decision, either to guard him way out here or get involved in this pick and roll action that's going to be ran in between Tatum and Drew Holiday. So as soon as he's making his run in the corner to force Gafford to make that decision, they're running pick and roll right here. Look at Drew. Easy access. Once again, Gafford being forced to make tough decisions. Look where he's guarding Al Horford at while this pick and roll action happens here, and look at all the space. Check out Drew. Drew has plenty of space to operate, and this is the power of the 5-out offense by the Boston Celtics. Everyone can make shots, and it's taking away that rim protection. Now right here off this rebound, you're going to see the Celtics players. This is the power of this offense. You have 5 guys that have high basketball IQ, and Horford, he trails right here off that rebound on purpose, especially with Gafford the past few possessions being taken away from being the low man. But he's used to getting back on defense, instantly covering that low post area, and this is where you see Horford trails on purpose and takes full advantage of it. The Celtics right here showing numerous counters from when they pulled the big man out. Lively way out here. Now Horford, he was stuck on Kyrie, but notice how right here PJ is instantly going to make the switch onto Horford. He points to Kyrie to cover Hauser. But once again, the Celtics, all 5 guys are playing with high basketball IQ. Look at Hauser. He instantly notices that. He pulls Kyrie right back into the action. But watch the adjustments that they make. It's a ghost screen, and he's open for the 3. This right here is what made it tough for the Dallas Mavericks. They had to be perfect for the rest of the way, just for this to even go 6 games. The Celtics were just clicking as a unit, not only defensively, but offensively as well. So Jason Tatum right here gets the switch, and even with the Boston Celtics clicking as an offensive unit, it's only a matter of time before your superstar just kicks in. And with him having Lively on him, now they're going to pick on Luka. And he rejects the screen, and he finishes right through all this contact. And this is where your stars come through, and Tatum is ready for the moment. And Al Horford just all game long setting these pin down screens, just forcing guys to get on him. Right here, the Celtics want the Mavs as far as rim protection. The Mavs all season long have been one of the worst rim protecting teams. And after that trade deadline, them implementing Gafford and PJ kind of improved their odds a little bit more. But at the end of the day, Lively way out here, it's only a matter of time. And Tatum, unlike the 2022 NBA Finals, especially games 4, 5, and 6, he is improving his playmaking skills and he is not settling. He could have easily have settled right here for a step back three. And right here, he shows he's not shy to be that playmaker and gets Jrue Holiday an easy bucket. So right here on the switch, Tatum gets the favorable matchup against Luka, but here's a conundrum for the Mavs. As you see right here, Lively and Green exchanging communication. Lively wants to switch because once again, they want rim protection down here. Tatum is picking his poison. He knows Lively's down there, so having Luka way out here is not necessarily going to be a problem for him. Cash. Celtics having numerous ways of making the Dallas Mavericks pay. You see Gafford right here serving as the low man, but look at Horford. Wide open. It's going to make him pay. The rim protection for the Dallas Mavericks all night long had to pick their poison. Now right here, Lively in this closeout, he's trying to defend that shot by Horford. But at the same time, the Celtics big man proving he's versatile as he attacks the hoop and gets the foul. Once again, this was the conundrum all series long for the Mavericks. The Celtics just had too many guys who could not only knock down threes, but could put the ball down on the floor and take mid-range shots. They could attack the hoop. Just so much offensive versatilities with all 5 guys on the floor. And when you combine that with the Mavs not necessarily having strong perimeter defense, just allowing guys like Tatum and Brown to easily penetrate that defense, and you have Gafford and a rookie and Lively down low, it's only a matter of time. And there's definitely a lot of improvements the Mavs can make in the offseason. Lively's definitely going to learn from this experience. And Luka on his side, it's a lot of the intangibles. How serious does he take himself during the offseason? Will he show up to training camp next season already in shape, ready to put a higher percentage of effort on the defensive end? He doesn't have to put 100%, just a lot more effort on the defensive end than he did this season. These are some of the things we'll be on the lookout for by September. So all series long, the Mavericks struggled in the non-Luka minutes. As right here, we're going to see Jaylen Brown. He made sure to take Luka out these type of possessions where the Mavericks players really couldn't get the ball back to him. It forced guys like Keebler to take this shot. But the Mavs, once again, they were only down 3 with about a minute left to end the first quarter. After giving up a 3, they had back-to-back turnovers. Luka just succumbing to that ball pressure, which eventually led to PJ bringing the ball up and turning the ball over himself. So the Mavs went from being down 3 with about a minute and 30 seconds left to the Celtics ending the quarter on a 9-0 run, 4 of those points coming off of turnovers. But this has been an issue all series long. And in the closeout game, this issue even carried over to the end of the second quarter, where the Mavs allowed the Celtics to go on a 19-7 run when they were only down single digits with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left. Luka, just like at the end of the first quarter, succumbing to ball pressure once again with the turnovers. PJ then allowed to handle the ball and eventually turning the ball over himself. And the Celtics as a whole offensive unit just started waking up with the 3-point shots. Jaylen Brown was able to knock down a tough jumper, Derek White, and Jason Tatum. And with all those 3-point shots falling, it's only right that it opened things up down the middle as the Celtics efficiently was able to attack the rim. This is how that 20-point lead that existed for most of the third quarter built up, which led to the beginning of the end of the Dallas Mavericks season and for the boys in Beantown to secure their 18th championship. And they came a long way, from the Kyrie Irving trade to the Gordon Hayward injury. You can even look at the pivot that they had to make off of Kemba Walker when he joined the Celtics, to the Ime Udoka scandal, all the heartbreaking losses from the conference finals against LeBron James, the 2020 playoffs in the bubble, to making the NBA finals in 2022, losing to the Warriors, and to having another heartbreaking loss in the conference finals in the following season to the Miami Heat and losing one of the heart and souls of the team in Marcus Smart, to now getting over the hump and finally achieving their goals, especially Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. A lot of lessons learned along the journey, but that is part of the process. This Celtics team for the year, including the playoffs, finished with 80 wins and 21 losses. And even though some would say they caught a few breaks in the playoffs, not going up against Donovan Mitchell fully healthy. They missed out on Jimmy Butler and a few games with Tyrese Halliburton. Their young dynamic duo in Jason Tatum and Brown still showed the many lessons learned throughout their journey. The execution, the playmaking, not settling for shots. The bad times were a good thing for these guys. And you can see the perseverance and grit that shines through them. And any one of these guys could have won MVP. And this Celtics team is misdiagnosed in this era, as they should be judged as one of the best ensemble casts in NBA champions history, along with teams like the San Antonio Spurs of 2014, the 1984 Boston Celtics, the 1979 Seattle Supersonics, the 2004 Detroit Pistons, and the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. The archetypes of those teams having numerous players who can average double digits in the finals is the proper way to put this 2024 Boston Celtics team into proper context. But as we all know, the media landscape that we're in, they're too pigeonholed into judging teams as far as who's the superstar and who's the big names. And due to the NBA having a more talented global pool to pick from in every single draft going forward, especially with these new CBA rules, the way the Boston Celtics are constructed will be the new wave of how some of these championship contending teams should be built. The influx of so many players defending multiple positions, having multiple skill sets, and having offensive versatility as far as finishing at the rack and making three-point shots. A job well done by the Boston Celtics. Their front office had to pivot in so many different ways, and we'll see if they can keep these boys together. As they always say, the job is never done. And until next time, you fellas stay safe. Peace.